Welcome back to the Commanders Declassified podcast. I'm LE, and I brought my friends with me tonight. Eric, what's going on, man?
It feels like it's been a millennia since I've been here, but we're back at full strength and ready to rock, as Dan
Yeah,
Quinn would say.
no doubt. It's been a while. That was your longest absence from the podcast since we started, man. Can you believe that?
2 weeks, really? Was it two
Yeah.
weeks? Oh
hmm
my goodness! I got.
Yeah.
I'm a workaholic, I guess you could say.
You're committed, and I appreciate that. Mike, what's going on?
What's happening, y'all? And yeah, it has been a while, but I'm ready to talk some Commanders football, man. Heard a lot of stuff coming out of minicamp, so let's get it.
Absolutely. Let's jump right into it because you brought up minicamp, and of course, like the reports coming out of camp are glowing. We're going to talk quarterback. We're going to talk some of the receivers. I want to ask you guys this. It came out this week that, and I was actually listening to this when I was on vacation myself, but NFL on XM said we have the number one linebacking core in the NFL. Did you guys hear this? And what do you guys think about that? Eric, I'll start with you, man.
Yeah, I did hear that, and I quickly remembered that it is May, or it was May when they said that. It doesn't mean anything. I mean, adding Luvu and Bobby Wagner was a massive add. Off-season rankings are pretty much the same thing as in-season rankings. They don't matter. Wins and losses do. So we'll see what we look like in the fall. But awesome, we got the number one linebacking core in the NFL somehow.
At some point, who would have thought last year? Mike, what does it mean to you?
Same, nothing. I mean, it's good on paper because I'm a believer in Jayden Davis, whether he's on the edge or in the field. I feel like he's maybe not first round pick worthy, but he's not a trash player. He can produce at times. But obviously, piggybacking off of the addition of Luvu and Wagner, I mean, and even McGee. I'm sorry if you mentioned them earlier, I don't remember you mentioning them, but the rookie from Temple. I finally got a chance to look at some of his highlights, and he seems like a baller. And yeah, I can understand the logic behind putting us first, but nah, I don't care right now because we could be first today and 32nd again in January. So
Yeah,
whatever.
maybe Ken Norton Jr. has a lot to do with that too, because I think that's a big old upgrade at linebacker
Yeah.
coach right there from the two former NFL linebackers we had coaching last year.
Well, yeah, that's a good point, Eric. And what it means to me is they've addressed the position. I mean, regardless if they're first best, 10th
Yeah.
best, whatever, last year we were dead last and it felt like it, right? Like we didn't have anything in the linebacker room and we didn't know what we wanted to do with the linebackers that we had. So it's at least an acknowledgement that we have officially addressed that position to put ourselves in a better position to be more competitive defensively. So that recognition I love. It's all going to depend on what Bobby Wagner has left in the tank. He played well last year. We got to see what he has in the tank. I hope he doesn't play a single snap in preseason. I know he will, but I don't want him to get hurt at all before the season starts. But I'm excited. Mike, you brought up Jayden Davis. More and more, we're hearing reports of him practicing at defensive end. Eric, is that real? Should we think about this in like any major context, or is this just them experimenting right now?
I don't. Yeah, they should have done that 2 years ago with him because he's a good pass rusher, and that was like one of his strengths. And it's a way to get your best players on the field. I don't think he's going to be moving there full time, but I think being able to move him around with his athleticism and get him in a position where he can be on the field with those other linebackers, maybe even Jordan McGee with that front four, be part of that front four. I mean, there's no downside to that. It's not like this isn't like you're not working out a linebacker, so we're going to try you at edge rusher. This is like we're trying to use you as a chess piece, and we're going to get our best guys on the field. That's how I see it anyway. I think Jamin Davis should have been rushing the passer a lot more since he was a rookie, and he just really hasn't. He's shown flashes of being able to do it, and I'm excited that they're actually going to use him that, and I think it is going to work out well in his favor.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think one thing that we've been consistent, and I think actually Jamin has shown consistency when put in that position, is that he can get to the quarterback. Like Jalen Hurts, right? Jamin Davis tracks down Jalen Hurts. You need that in the division. You have Hurts. You have Prescott, right? You have Daniel Jones who can run. So you need athletic edge rushers who can make this happen. The Cowboys use Michael Parsons in that role at times. It makes sense. Let that man do what he does best. All right, Mike, for you, sir. Luke McCaffrey was practicing taking some handoffs in the backfield. Does that get you a little excited?
I mean, for June, yeah, I guess. I didn't know that, so thanks for dropping that tidbit for me. But it kind of makes sense when you figure out this man is a former quarterback at Nebraska, switched positions when he got the Rice, and yeah, like I'm with it. Like he's a football player, he's a McCaffrey, and I mean, do we expect him to be as good as his brother? No, or even his father? Nah. I don't expect him to be that good. We don't know. He's a rookie. But that pedigree still matters. And the knowledge from playing quarterback, that's going to matter. So putting him in the backfield, he's not little. Like, yeah. But does it get me excited right now? Yeah, for June. But how will that play out in September or during football season or whatever? I'm not sure. But we had players that we could use in a variety of positions, and we did not. So the fact that the coaches are thinking more outside the box, because I wouldn't have thought to put him in the backfield. So if they're thinking like that, I can't imagine what they're doing with the other pieces on offense.
Yeah, to me, it's kind of simple. It's a Curtis Samuel role kind of situation, right? Like, is he going to get 20 carries out of the backfield? No, but is he going to move all over the field and take a couple handoffs every now and then? Absolutely. It's about mismatches and advantages in today's NFL, and he can create those out of any position on offense. He could even come in at quarterback if you wanted him to in goal line situations, et cetera, et cetera. Not saying that he will, but he has that capability, so why not practice him there? And we'll see how Cliff Kingsbury decides to use him during the season. Diami Brown, our guy, was practicing with the ones at receiver while McCaffrey was doing something. I forget, but I heard this on the Beltway Blitz podcast, whatever, with JP and Mitch Tischler, that Diami was getting a lot of reps with the ones on the outside, and Dotson in the slot some. So it's an interesting concept to me because I always go back to that podcast when we drafted Diami, and Eric and I were projecting like 700 yards, 5 touchdowns for Diami his rookie year. You remember this, Eric? I'm not making this up.
I don't remember that. I don't know what you're talking
about. And I don't know that he has 700 yards for his career, and he definitely doesn't have 5 touchdowns total. But the fact of the matter, he might. I will check that. But the fact of the matter is that it sounds like he's having a pretty good mini camp. Diami was always somebody that needed to really have a good camp to stick around on the roster. And, he's shown some special teams prowess, but I'm happy for Diami. I don't know what it means in the long run or in the grand scheme of things. A lot of football left to play. But I am very excited for Diami that he's at least going to have a good opportunity going into training camp. And he has been noted for several highlight catches during mini camp so far. Good on him. All right. Now, you guys all saw the clip of Quan Martin with the tip interception and the behind the back catch. I know we talked about Quan Martin and being excited about what he might be able to do, previously on this podcast this offseason, Eric. What I haven't heard anything about is Benjamin St. Juste so far. So secondary wise, based on what you kind of read and heard, how are you feeling about how the secondary is shaping up so far?
It is a work in progress. I know Joe Witt. What I found interesting is the few times that he's spoken this offseason, he has brought up Quan Martin without being asked about Quan Martin. That is telling for me. I think they really have a high opinion of Quan. Forbes, Joe Witt praises him when he's asked about him, but again, he doesn't offer up unsolicited praise. He didn't say anything bad, and I believe that he, if he wasn't getting it done, there would be more to it. He said he's doing everything he's supposed to be doing. I think Quan Martin is poised to be a star. Yeah, Benjamin St. Juste has been crickets. I personally, I'm the anti-Mike. I have very low expectations for St. Juste this offseason. I just think, for what this coaching staff looks for in ball skills is just the exact opposite of what St. Juste brings you. but I do think he's probably the guy on the outside, at least to start this season, because who else do they really have that's going to play out there? They have Sanders still, who we like, but he's going to be a slot guy. Forbes is going to be out there. Quan Martin can play corner, but he's been more of a slot guy. They have a lot of safeties. So, I mean, I think St. Juste is going to be there. But the secondary is definitely something to watch this year. I think coaching will make a big difference as long as the players are receptive to it. And I've not heard anything about St. Juste not being coachable, unlike some of the whispers we heard about Forbes not really taking coaching to heart last year. So that's something to keep an eye on as well. But again, I have extraordinarily low expectations for St. Juste to begin with. So not having heard anything about him doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, there's another corner from the Chargers that we
they brought, but he's been a backup
Michael
his whole
Davis.
career. Yeah,
but I don't know.
starter?
Like he might start the season. It really might be
telling if he does.
I think he could be a lock. It could be between Forbes and St. Juste who's going to start the season, because I have heard like he's been like the most consistent corner. And with him being a vet, with him not struggling like St. Juste and Forbes did last season, like he might sneak in. Well, not sneak in. He might have that one of those sides locked down right now.
Yeah. The linebacking crew and the pass rush are going to make a bigger difference than just the general secondary play. I think if you can get home with that front seven, you can cover up a lot of problems. And if Mike Davis is the guy in the secondary, I mean, he's been kind of a third corner most of his career, but if he's a guy who can come in and start, then so be it. We'll take it as long as the front seven can generate some havoc. It might not matter as much who's back there.
Yeah. Totally agree, man. And Mike, I agree with you. I think Davis does have a decent shot to be the starter on the outside in week 1. So, if BSJ or Benjamin St. Juste is good, it just makes us better as a team. So we certainly hope that he does pull it together and figure it out, and figure out turnovers too. But in the meantime, we have to evaluate the rest of the folks that are there, and we know the team loves Sam Ristrillo. So looking forward to all of that coming together. All right, quarterback. You've seen the clips, you see the reports. Jayden Daniels is still cooking in mini camps. 11 on 11s against first team defense, has had some pretty good moments there. Eric, are you starting to get a little excited for Jayden Daniels?
No, I mean, I'm impressed with him. He's doing and saying all the right things. Every time I've seen him talk, he's definitely not he's not Robert 2.0 in front of a microphone for sure, which I like. He seems to have the respect of his teammates. Doesn't seem to be in over his head. We'll see how it translates. When they go live. Some of those highlight plays that we've been hearing about over the past couple of days may well have been sacks if it were live bullets. So I'm still very cautiously optimistic. I'm still terrified of injury for him. It's going to be that way until he gets through a season. And I'll come out and say it right now. I do not want him to win Rookie of the Year. That's the last thing I want, because look at what happened to our last 2 Rookies of the Year. That was pretty much all they ever did in their career. So I would rather he not win that. I'd rather him just be a solid quarter, get second or third in the voting. That'd be fine. I just don't want him winning it. But no, I'm impressed with Jayden so far. I mean, I think he's as advertised, and I think he's gonna hit the ground running. I think he's gonna have probably the most success of any of the quarterbacks as long as he's healthy. Just because I think he's more NFL ready, and we've seen Drake May is probably gonna sit. I still like Drake May a lot as long as he's if they take care of him up in New England and do right by him. Jacoby Brissett can run that team for as long as they need this season. Even in the next, Caleb Williams, we saw that throw to Keenan. Was it Keenan Allen when he was like, hell no? When he caught that ball, I don't know if y'all saw that.
Oh, that was him who threw that?
Yeah, it was a Caleb Williams
throw.
Oh,
man.
And Keenan Allen was like, God, that was terrible. But no, I think Jayden is poised to have a pretty strong rookie year as long as he's healthy. Health is going to be my concern with him moving forward. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'm impressed with Jayden so far.
Yeah. Mike, you impressed as well?
Yeah, man. I really don't have anything bad to say. Not that I usually try to trash people anyway, but like I can't even nitpick. He may have had a bad day based on what reports said in the red zone and stuff like that. But I mean, it's May and he's crushing these quizzes right now. So it's at the point where I'm like, bro, let's just give him a final exam. I mean, not a final exam. Let's give him a test. Let's give him a test. I need to see him test. And until that happens, like I guess preseason will be the first time, or whenever they have a joint practice with Miami or the Jets. But as of now, like he's cooking, especially compared to what we've been hearing about the other rookie quarterback so far. I heard something about McCarthy not looking too good in Minnesota. I don't know if he bounced back or not. I hope he did, because I have him in a lot of dynasty leagues. Um, but yeah, and we've heard the stories from New England and Chicago about Drake and Caleb Williams. So yeah, he's looking like the best rookie quarterback so far in minicamp. I haven't heard nothing about Penix, but they're not going to talk about him to hurt someone's feelings down in Atlanta. So don't expect too much from Penix. But yeah, like right now, there's nothing that man has done that he's getting to practice at 5:45. Like getting to practice at 5:45, which means he's probably waking up like 4:00 in the morning or something.
Right.
And this is a rookie doing this, already showing these mamas, I'm the hardest worker on the team. Like, get on my level.
Well, why is he sleeping at all? You should be reviewing the playbook instead of sleeping.
Oh, man. I'm here before the sun rises. Like, come on, get on my level. But
yeah, I heard him say him and McCaffrey have been the early birds working together every morning. I think that's pretty cool. I like
that.
Our future guys are bonding, and this is just making me so happy. All right, so no, but training camp's going extremely well. I think the coaches are doing a great job. The reports are all very positive, and that's all we can ask for this time of year. All right, switch it up a little bit. They put out CBS Sports put out the top 10 expected backup quarterbacks for the 2024 season. You guys ready to hear this? You know who the number one guy is?
Michael Penix Jr. Kirk Cousins. I don't know.
Who?
Carson Wentz with the Chiefs is the number one backup quarterback.
Oh,
yeah, what? Because he's not going to get on the field. That's why they love him.
When did Wentz go to the Chiefs?
Who cares?
Oh, yeah. Only in the offseason. Number 2, J.J. McCarthy with the Vikings. Number 3, Kenny Pickett with the Eagles. By the way, man, playing Kenny Pickett in December in bad weather here, I would take that any day of the week. Deron Payne and John Allen would feast on him. Justin Fields is number 4 with the Steelers. Tyrod Taylor is still around, still kicking, number 5 with the Jets. And by the way, he might start if Aaron Rodgers doesn't get his act together and get his behind in the training camp. Number 6, Jimmy Garoppolo with the Rams. That's weird. Jimmy Garoppolo was like sort of the quintessential backup quarterback, and now he's the 6th ranked backup quarterback in the league.
And he's suspended.
And he's with the Rams. Yeah.
Okay.
He was doing them roids.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's why. Josh Dobbs, who was king backup quarterback last year, is number 7 with the Niners. famous Jameis Winston's number 8 with the Browns. Number 9 is Andy Dalton with the Panthers, and who I think will probably finish the season for the Panthers next year. Number 10. You know who number 10 is? I'll give you a guess.
Marcus Mariota.
Nope.
You wouldn't have brought it up. It's not Mariota.
Sam Howell, number 10.
Oh, yeah. That's the guy.
And,
he's still low because he's going to be starting halfway through the season.
Right.
That's why he's
I don't know. I was reading up on some of the training camp reports for the Seahawks, and it sounds like Howell is struggling a little bit. And I think it may just take a little bit of time, but he's thrown a number of picks, which is what I read. Don't kill the messenger here, but he's thrown a number of picks in training camp, and it sounds like there's a significant gap between Geno and Howell.
He got wrecked last year. Honestly, I don't think he's going to be starting this year because it is going to take – you're going to have to rebuild him after what this team did to him last year. With some of it he did to himself, not going to lie, but this team did not put him in a position to succeed whatsoever last year. So, the amount of abuse he took, the hits, and all that went into that, he's gonna take probably a year to rebuild. But I still think he's got a future in the NFL.
He does. Whether it's backup or starter, nobody knows. But so far it's been a little rough out there in Seattle. Hopefully he pulls it together. And we've got to root for everybody here. So hope he pulls it together. But that was just interesting that Carson Wentz is the number one backup quarterback according to CBS Sports. So all right, fellas. Eric, any final thoughts on minicamp? I know there's a break from the team now, and you get a chance to breathe before things get put into high gear. What are your final thoughts, my friend?
Yeah, I've got very tempered expectations for this year. I'm having a really hard time, and it's weird because everything's new and fresh and new franchise. Having a really hard time getting excited about the next season. And I hope that's a good thing. Like, I hope they just blow my expectations out of the water. But I just don't have like warm and fuzzies. I'm not. There's a buzz around the team, but I'm just not. It hasn't buzzed me yet. I'm not feeling it yet. I don't know why. Because I like pretty much everything they've done this offseason. I'm just not there yet. Maybe as the season gets closer, I'll start getting warm and fuzzies. But right now, I'm just feeling like, man, I've seen all this before, and you're gonna have to do something to impress me. You got to show me rather than just tell me. So let's hope it's gonna make for a long summer, I think, for me. But hopefully I'm wrong, and hopefully we just come out swinging and win the Super Bowl next season.
Here's what I think, Eric. I've been around you for a long time. I think it's because we don't have any underdog stories on the roster to root for. Taylor Heineke, Sam Howell, that kind of got your juices going. And now we just have like overdogs. And so we're just going to have to learn. And this is true for, I think, a lot of people, myself included. Like it's sometimes when you've been the underdog for so long and you've had those underdog stories to root for because we've had nothing else to root for other than guys that are long shots that are getting an opportunity. And now that's not here anymore. And you just have to rely on being good. That's a hard transition to make mentally. Now, I took a gigantic leap to take what you said and turn that into that. But I think there might be something there, if not for you, for other fans,
Maybe so. Like I said, I like everything they've done this offseason. And hopefully as the season gets closer, I'll start getting those 13-4 vibes flowing. But right now I'm just not feeling it. Yeah.
My guy. Okay. You'll come around. Mike, what are your final thoughts, buddy?
Like what? Why should we have 13-4 vibes? Like what have we seen in the last 30 years that even 13-4? I'm just trying to get an 11-win season. Can I witness one of those? But I digress. I'm ready for training camp, like everybody else. I heard they didn't even do a walkthrough today, during their Thursday's final day of minicamp. So I feel like even the coach was like, all right, we've seen enough. Let's get ready for July or August or whatever. And we're going to turn up on Commanders Classified when it gets going. So, yeah. But until then, might be a chill, mellow summer on the show, but we'll take care of y'all either way.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to everything. You guys, I'm excited because we got a quarterback that I like and I believe in, and he's showing and proving to be
that you like.
Yeah, I like what, and I say
finally admits he didn't like anybody. He didn't like Sam.
It's not that I didn't like them. It's just that I knew that their opportunities were really small and that statistically it just was almost impossible for him, Heineke, any of the other guys that we have brought in here. It just wasn't going to work because the NFL doesn't work like that, right? Like unless you blow somebody away, it didn't work. But I'm on 10. I know I'm probably about a 7 right now. Once we start seeing guys with the pads on and things like that, I'm going to go up to 8.5. And then when we kick off that first week of the season, I'm going to be on 13. I'm going to be ready to go.
I was about to say 7 is high, man.
I'm there.
A 7 in June is like a 16 in September.
That is high. I am on a good 4 or 5 right now.
Yeah, the kids call it turnt, I believe.
You are ready.
Like, I'm about a 1.7 at this point. So
you got
barely got a pulse.
4.
I'm
Eric,
like I'm looking at NBA mock drafts right now. That's where I'm at.
I want to see you get a Luke McCaffrey jersey, Eric, because I think that'll.
I'm never buying another jersey again in my life. Somebody's gonna have to mail me one if they want me.
I'm gonna mail you one. I'm gonna get you a Luke McCaffrey.
I got burnt on a Brian Arakpo like 10 years ago, and that's the last time I ever won. I'm never doing another one.
He's number 12.
McCaffrey's number 12.
12.
Yeah,
hopefully
I can repurpose that Kirk Cousins rookie jersey I got.
The last receiver that had.
My dad got me, and it's autographed by Kirk Cousins, not RG3. Angelo Hall.
that is Bama to steal a phrase from.
Hey, RG3 wouldn't come over to where we were to sign it at training camp. So you take what you can.
Man, that is crazy. That's going to be worth some money one day.
Kirk did it. Good for Kirk.
Yeah,
on the RG3 jersey, man.
Yeah, I got a picture with Kirk and everything when I was at training camp that year. I think it was like the second year, not the first year, if I'm not mistaken. So, I just remember and this is funny because it kind of relates to Jayden Daniels. I remember being at training camp that year and thinking how tiny RG3 was in person, man. I remember that just 2013. I was like, holy crap, that dude is small.
He was skinny.
But yeah, he was skinny. So we'll see how it goes, guys. All right. Commanders Declassified. All our listeners, make sure you are subscribed. You are following the podcast. You are sharing the podcast, and you are talking about the podcast. We appreciate each and every one of you. Mike, go ahead and plug your show for us, please, sir.
Sport and Combos with Eddie and Mike. We just released the episode on Wednesday morning. We talked about the finals, and as predicted, the Mavericks did lose yesterday, so they are on the verge of being swept. So check that out, and
Shout out to Eddie. All right, we're out of here. Thanks to all of our listeners. We appreciate you guys. Peace.